As former US President Donald Trump marches closer to securing the Republican nomination, Joe Biden is desperately trying to pump energy into his campaign. The New York Times is reporting that the president's aides are hoping for global pop star Taylor Swift's endorsement in the 2024 election, and they believe her fundraising appeal could be monumental for the president's campaign. They've even floated the idea of sending Joe Biden to one of her sold-out concerts.
The New York Times wrote a long article today about the election campaign, and I counted 4 paragraphs inside that article about efforts to get Taylor Swift involved in the president's re-election. I said, with your permission and forgiveness here, one sentence said, one idea that's been tossed around a bit in jest, sending the president to a stop on Swift's Eras tour. So what would Swift support give the president? Any plans to go on tour?
So let me first say, I got to be really mindful. I'm a federal employee. As you know, there's something called the Hatch Act, so certainly cannot speak to anything that is related to 2024 and upcoming elections. So you're going to be super, super mindful. Obviously, there are a lot of, I know in my shop, in the press office shop, there are a lot of Swifties, if you will, fans of Taylor Swift. And so I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to get into the president's schedule at all from here as it relates to the 2024 elections.
The first time the Hatch Act has been invoked in regards to Taylor Swift. Karoline Jean-Pierre, thank you for your time. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks, John. I appreciate it.
The reports claim that Biden's aides are drafting a wish list of potential surrogates, including elected officials and social media influencers, as well as Taylor Swift, which would be an endorsement of their wildest dreams. It's understood just one of the star's Instagram posts from 2022 led to more than 30,000 new voter registrations.
I really want to underscore what you said in the intro, that a single post of hers led to 35,000 new registrants. That's a whopping amount of power. That's arguably more power than the president. Does a president's post have that kind of impact? And remember in December when he swung through Southern California, his campaign, this is Biden, the president's campaign, carved out time to meet with influencers. He wanted to make sure that they knew exactly what they were posting, and that led to a bunch of TikToks. Has he gone to East Palestine yet? He hasn't. So this is a president who prioritizes and protects time with young, influential groups and TikTokers, because that's important to him because of the harness attached to it. Taylor Swift's cat is valued, one of them is valued at $97 million because of its Instagram impact.
Her cat?
Her cat, because of its Instagram impact.
Whoa.
And so this seems, it's like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But the reality is, again, that's persuadable power. And this administration is locked, dead set on harnessing that. So when you put it against that landscape, I think the lesson here is that it matters. This administration knows it. It's sad that they prioritize that over average, normal Americans who need help that they've promised to visit, like, again, those in East Palestine. And also, GOP, get your act together. Do the same thing somehow. Get off TikTok. But
Taylor Swift endorsed Joe Biden in 2020, but she's yet to officially get behind the 2024 race. Donald Trump's 2024 National Press Secretary claims there's no endorsement that could save Joe Biden.
Real Americans, average, hardworking families, which Taylor Swift is not, recognize that Joe Biden's policies have hurt them, not helped them. Just yesterday, another tragic day in this nation, we lost 3 American soldiers in the Middle East, largely because of Joe Biden's weakness on the world stage that has led to unrest in that region, when just a few years ago, the region was safe and secure thanks to President Trump's peace through strength foreign policy. Every day, our hardworking average Americans are struggling because of Bidenomics. In fact, under Joe Biden's presidency, it cost the average American family $11,000 more just to have the same quality of life as they did under Donald Trump. That may not be a lot to Taylor Swift, but it's a lot to a lot of hardworking people out there. And so that's why I don't think this endorsement will save him from the calamity that has become of this presidency. Real Americans see it. We cannot afford to elect Joe Biden for another 4 years.
Meanwhile, former GOP candidate Vivek Ramaswamy, who's supporting Donald Trump, has shared his thoughts about the pop star and the reports that she'll be travelling from Japan to watch her boyfriend Travis Kelce's Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. He posted on X, "I wonder who's going to win the Super Bowl next month. And I wonder if there's a major presidential endorsement coming from an artificially culturally propped up couple this fall." Just some wild speculation over here. Let's see how it ages over the next 8 months. There are suggestions Taylor Swift could heavily influence the way Americans vote in the presidential election. A poll by Redfield and Wilton Strategies for Newsweek found almost 1/5 of voters would be more likely to vote for a candidate endorsed by Taylor Swift.